But a quick reminder that today's episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work, of taking pride in what you build, in practicing every detail to get the best results, but no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier, and at Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver all the things we need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices. Epicor ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help make every day easier. Seeing your whole supply chain is easier, managing logistics is easier, responding to price changes, that's also easier. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global visions, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way, because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners, easier finds the lane. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. That is www.easierwithepicor.com. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in, finally, we have a receiver on the show. It is our guy, Cecil Shorts, former NFL receiver, co-host of the Ultimate 216 show with Earl the Pearl, to help us break down some of the nuances to Travis Hunter's game. How you doing today, Cecil?
I'm good, fellas. How y'all doing today, man? Good to see y'all.
Good to see you, Cecil. We were talking earlier about Travis Hunter, and we all agreed, even our resident cornerback agreed that right now in the NFL, wide receiver is more important than a corner. However, Travis Hunter wants to play both. I know there may be a lot of teams that don't let him. I would let him if he wants to do it. Do you think that's crazy?
It's not crazy. He's that talented. We haven't seen a guy like this. I don't know if we've ever seen a guy this talented that is able to play either side of the ball and be as effective as he can be. Honestly, if he just played one position, he would be the wide receiver one or the cornerback number one, right? He is just exceptional. I mean, the way he's able to catch the ball, 96 catches this year, over 1,200 yards. I mean, his best asset when he has the ball in his hand is his elusiveness, his run after catch. He catches the ball. He can do anything. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, for me, it's the savviness that he has. That's what's so impressive. His understanding of the game, how savvy he is in zone coverage. If you ask me, though, what position he should play mainly, I think it's wide receiver. And I think honestly, I say wide receiver. I think it depends where he gets drafted to. He's not going to go past 4. I think the Browns probably will take him at 2. But he is just so dynamic. And you get the ball in his hands. That's to Jerry Jeudy. That's to Njoku. It just puts whoever the quarterback is in better position to make plays and then have a really good offense.
Cecil, when you look at him as a wide receiver, because I think Andrew Berry came on and said they view him as a wide receiver as well. When you look at him as a wide receiver, obviously this is a guy that's playing both sides of the ball, and there's some things he needs to clean up. When you watch his tape as a wide receiver, what's some things that he needs to clean up to be a better receiver for the NFL?
Oh, Tyvis, creating separation. There's too many times in his route running where he's not using his length to his advantage. And I'll say the same thing for defense, too. If you look at a lot of film, he's running down the field, and the DB's all up in his chest. He's making this incredible catch, bending, and doing all this stuff. Well, if he creates better separation with his feet, learn how to use his hands, he could be exceptional. But honestly, when you're playing both sides of the ball, it's hard to focus on one particular thing. He's playing over 100 snaps a game. He has to take care of his body, getting ready for the following week. I think that's going to be a huge thing, creating separation consistently. Also, as you know, Tyvis, getting off the press. They're gonna try to punch you in your mouth. Like you all world, you all this. Okay, you got to show me. When Patrick Surtain lines up, he getting low. Okay, show me what you got. He has to be able to consistently get off the press, use his strength. Use his hands, use his length to be able to get open. But when the ball's in the air, my gosh, man, anything close to him, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's like 70-30. It's like 80-20 in certain situations. He's just magnificent. But the details of the routes, the details of getting separation, because as you know, when you get to higher up, everybody's athletic, everybody's good, and the technique matters. So I think creating separation and getting off the press consistently is something he needs to work on.
Cecil, I'm wondering from a perspective, if you was coaching, how would you come up with the game plan in terms of what does the practice schedule look like? What is individual period? What is, how are we going to split this up? Because obviously, you got to learn and get some chemistry, whatever the quarterback is. And a lot of that work is inside your one-on-ones and group settings. And then, but at the same time, how do I get you in the DB drills where we can work some of this technique so that we can have both worlds get better at the same time? What plan do the Browns got to come up with if they're going to draft a kid? They got to have something, right?
G. Bush, that's the hardest question to answer for anybody that drafts him. And I'll be honest with you, I think the best fit for Travis Hunter is the New England Patriots. Play both sides of the ball, maybe a smaller package on offense, but he has some type of experience and understands, hey, this is how I did it. He'll obviously Travis have a bigger package, but he can understand this is what's needed. This is how we should go about practice. On Mondays, it should be this. Tuesdays, this. Wednesdays, a little bit of both. But when you look at the Browns, I think they have a decent enough DB room that he'll be primarily a receiver. So primarily, most of his time should be at wide receiver, learning how to create separation, learning how to run better routes, understanding the concepts, and then it should be packages for him on defense. Now, the technique and stuff, it'll have to be at least 2 days a week. At the very least, if not 3 days a week. Like, he has to get better at his technique as a defensive back. He's using his athleticism. He's getting away with it in college because he's the most athletic guy, Heisman Trophy winner, whoever he plays, right? But in the pros, when all that stuff matters, you look at that highlight there, he's so high in his back pedal. His transition from his back pedal to either going to the sideline or to the field is so high. That's how he gets beat at times. So he really needs to work that technique. But that's a lot of time.
Right.
You have to legit schedule out. Like, Travis will probably have a separate schedule for him as a player than the rest of the team because he needs to be able to learn the plays on offense, learn the plays on defense. This is what you'll be on defense. This is what you'll be on offense, and then kind of go from there.
Cecil, you played at Mount Union. You had an incredible career. When you look at Travis Hunter going from the Big 12, not saying that the Big 12 isn't a great conference, but it's obviously not the Big 10 and the SEC. Was it a tough transition for you to catch the speed of the NFL, and how long did it take for you to get comfortable being in the NFL, leaving from Mount Union?
I'll answer it this way. The speed was tough, but the biggest difference from low-level college to the elite NFL is the offensive and defensive line. Those guys are special. Those guys are unbelievably real. Like, it's a crazy. I truly believe you can find a skilled guy anywhere. D3, D2, D1, NAIA, JUCO. You can find a skilled guy, and he can be able to catch up within a good amount of time with the speed and everything else and be a playmaker. But when it comes to that defensive line, man, that offensive line, them dudes is some dogs. Them some of the best athletes you'll ever see at D tackle, at defensive end, at guard, at the right tackle. Them are some of the best athletes you will ever come across at tight end. Those are some of the best athletes, those guys in the trenches that get overlooked a lot, right? So the transition for Travis, to answer your question, it'll be easier for him because he's a confident kid. He's going to study the game. He's going to put all his effort into it. There will be a piece where, okay, you're not going up against the guy from North Dakota State, right? He's not going up against the guy from Nebraska. You're going to be going up against guys that have been studying film 10 years in the league, 5 years in the league, that understand, hey, when you line up outside and it's third down, coach likes to call a slant. Well, I'm going to line up inside. Now beat me on the slant route. You know what I mean? So it's going to be some challenges there, but he's more than capable of making the transition pretty quickly. I'll be honest with you. If they draft him at number 2, he'll be the best receiver on the team by week 8. Like, it's that he's that good. He is seriously that good and that talented.
By the way, I may not have played Division III football like Cecil, but I called 8 years of Division III football. By the way, when I went to college, Cecil, have you heard of Brockport? We had a pretty good D3 program.
Yeah.
Okay, So I went to Brockport, and when I went to Brockport, I was 25 years old. I went to college later, right? And I went up to the football coach. Coach at the time was a guy named Rocco Salamone. In fact, the quarterback at that time is now the coach at Brockport. But anyway, I went up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm thinking about trying to walk on for the team. He goes, I think you should stick with broadcasting. he was right. He made the right call. But Cecil's dead on about the line because in Division III, a lot of the linemen are just kind of fat guys, or they're not as big. It's not like, in Division I, all linemen are 300-plus pounds. Yeah. In Division III, the offensive linemen are not that. We had a left tackle at Brockport that actually played briefly in the NFL. He had a cup of coffee with the Bears and the Giants. He was a big kid. He just got big right after his senior year in high school. He was really good. But for the most part, the guys aren't that big, or if they are, they're kind of out of shape big. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But also, a lot of white running backs in Division III. Whole lot of white running backs. Oh, boy.
A lot of them.
Oh, man.
Scatterboo.
Hey, listen, and then when they ball out, they go to OU. Bobcats, we keep 2 stable. For real. Run hard, too. Run hard.
That's how you know you're a bad Division I program, when you're recruiting white running backs. I mean, let's be honest.
Hey, shout out to my people over there, man. Listen, hey, when you talk about you talk about Travis Hunter, man, I'm looking at it. I said if you're gonna take him 2, I gotta spam him. I gotta overuse him. If I overuse him the first 5 years of his career and he only played 1 after that, okay. But if you're gonna take him 2, you're not gonna take the quarterback. I need to see him returning kicks. I need to see him out there getting reversed. Is when you say the best place for him, if he plays receivers for the Cleveland Browns, I mean, are they gonna be running play action? How are they gonna get him involved? Are they really going to utilize him to the best of his abilities if they do take him that high and taking a receiver? Because we haven't done that in Cleveland.
Well, I tell you what, when you're drafting in the top 5, you're saying he's the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
You're not drafting a guy number 2 that's not going to be elite and the game changer. So I expect you to use him in every way that you feel like he can handle it, period. That's just what it is. And when you bring a guy like Travis Hunter into Cleveland, not only does that light the city on fire and get some anticipation going for the team, he's going to be a dynamic playmaker no matter what side of the ball he's on, no matter how you use him from day one. From day one, I'm telling you now, from day one, if they draft him in 16, I think it was 16 days, the ticker just popped up, he'll be the best receiver on the team by week 8.
That's wild.
When you watch him, he's like a mix of, you see resemblance of JJ means Jordan Jefferson. You see resemblance of CeeDee Lamb. You see resemblance of Brian Thomas Jr. that last year had an explosive year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You see that in his game. He wasn't even used in a way, in my opinion, that he'll be used with the Browns or whoever drafts him, because they had a lack of running game, because they had a lack of pass protection. It was, if you watch his highlight, I'm not watching highlight. If you watch his 96 catches from last year, a lot of his catches came from underneath stuff because they had to supplement the run game, right? They had to figure out how to get our playmakers the ball. Our best guys are our receivers. So how do we get them the ball? And, even if it's 3-4 yards, that can help us in the run game, because that can be, quote unquote, the run game, right? So when you use him going down the field, when you use him going different routes on glance routes, and you find ways to motion him in the offense, and you find ways to create that separation naturally with rubs and things like that, he's going to be exceptional, man. So I'm excited to see how they're going to use him. And I'm with you, G. Bush. Wherever he can handle, I'm throwing it at him. We're not drafting number 2 just to sit you. We're not drafting number 2 not to use you. You're here because number 2, you're a playmaker. You're a game changer, and that's how we need to use you.
Cecil, real quick, let's assume for the sake of this question the Browns do draft Travis Hunter. They use him on both sides of the ball, but I'm going to focus on the receiver and the offensive side of the equation for him for this question. But what is a receiver, and you can use Travis Hunter as an example, you can use yourself as an example, what are you looking for from the quarterback in that standpoint if they are going to use Travis Hunter as a focal point in the offense?
Wait, ask that question again. What as a receiver?
Yeah, what's a receiver looking for in a quarterback to help maximize that relationship?
Number 1, throw the rock. Throw the rock to me. I need my targets. that's just what it is. If you want to see me make plays, throw it to me, right? But I think when you look at Travis, and this is something, it's not a knock on Shedeur, because I'm a huge Shedeur fan. I think Shedeur, I want the Browns to draft Shedeur. I love Shedeur. But when I look at Travis, or even Jerry Jeudy or Njoku, I want a guy that's going to not only be accurate and put the ball in the right place, but when I want a guy that has a heck of an arm, that he can make any throw on the field. And when I play in Cleveland, I understand it's going to be weather. I understand it's the AFC North. I understand it's going to be tough games happening. When you look at different guys on field, I just want a guy that can give me the ball. Like, no matter what the coverage is, no matter who's in your face, maybe is somebody coming down the barrel way, it's a double A gap blitz. Can he stand in the pocket and deliver a strike? Give me a chance to go down the field. Like, if I'm Travis, if I'm Jerry Jeudy, if I'm Njoku, I want to go down the field. Like, I want to open this thing up off the play action, right? Play action, set up, go down the field. Let me go maul somebody. You got to use him to his strengths and abilities. I'm talking about Travis Hunter and other guys, right? So I want a guy with a big arm. I want a guy that understands what's happening and knows how to throw me open, right? Understands cover. I want a guy that's extremely intelligent, right? So I think those are the biggest things when you look for a quarterback from a receiver standpoint. Somebody's going to give you a chance, throw you the ball and trust you, but somebody that can just going to give you, also throw you open at different moments and times.
See, so I love asking this question. It's about the Browns as an organization. As you know, G. Bush loves to point out that the Browns don't do a really good job of drafting and developing wide receivers. Okay? Knowing that and seeing the history that we've had, what would make Travis Hunter different?
I think he's just a different prospect. Like he's just a different prospect than we've ever seen before when it comes to the wide receiver or DB position. But you're totally right. You and G. Bush are right. I mean, look at David Bell. I wrote all the names down. David Bell, Stephen Tillman, Mike Woods, Jamari Thrash. Look at the guys they have on roster right now. They drafted. You have not developed. Like, Tillman has had a couple games here and there, but you have not developed guys. So that's my point here is he's already better than everybody on your roster. Besides Jeudy, right? He got to prove he's better than Jeudy. But he's already past those guys. So now the development piece, it'll come from him getting more reps and more reps and more reps and more opportunities. So it takes it off the coach's hand almost, right? And because the player is so good, it takes it off the coach's hands. Now he can go out there and make plays.
Cecil, I want to wrap it up with a quarterback question here. Maybe they're going to take Sanders. We talked about him already, but there's been a lot of buzz. Probably shouldn't pay attention to the buzz, but a lot of buzz about Jaylen Milroe. First of all, I think it's ridiculous that people are comparing him to Lamar Jackson. I think that's completely unfair to Jaylen Milroe. Lamar Jackson was a way more polished player coming out of college than Jaylen Milroe is. And to expect anybody to be Lamar Jackson, who is, totally unique and a two-time MVP, is completely unfair. We know why they do it, obviously. But there is certainly incredible athletic ability there. But there's flaws in his game. He has struggled with the short to intermediate throw. What do you think of Jaylen Milroe and the idea of the Browns either trading up to the back end of the first round or drafting him at 33?
Number one, I like Jaylen Milroe. I don't know if I like him enough to trade up for him in the first round. Mm-hmm. If he's there in 2, I would think about taking him. Or a Jalen Hurts type of guy. Like, he's big, he's strong, he's a thicker guy. Mm-hmm. But you have to be able to develop him, right? You have to be able to put him in an offense that's going to be good for him. So a lot of read option, a lot of going down the field, right? When you draft, put it this way, when you look at Jalen Hurts, why is he successful? Well, you surrounded him with one of the best offensive lines in the league. You surrounded him with A.J. Brown on one side. You surrounded him. Why does fireworks keep popping up? Is that
That's the second time it's happened.
That's funny.
But you surrounded Jalen Hurts with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, like all these athletes. So if you can surround Jaylen Milroe with the same thing, I think he has a chance, but you have to develop him. Because like you mentioned, the accuracy, the consistency, him going to short and intermediate routes, going through his reads, making it simple for him, I think that's what he would need. And I'm not sure the Browns are in position to be that patient right now with how the franchise is going.
Cecil, great stuff, man.
Wait, I got one more for Cecil real quick.
Ahead.
Cecil, Shedeur, are you more interested in trading back up in the first for Shedeur than you would be for Milroe?
Yeah, I do. I think Shedeur has built programs. He's built franchises. I think people will be more accepting of Shedeur if he falls into the 20 range, right? The thing is, too, like, I'm nervous with Pittsburgh at 21. I'm nervous because they're in our division. And they'll mess around and get a Shedeur and get a Tyler Shuck or get a Jaylen Milroe and truly develop them and then we got to see him twice a year for the next decade, and I just don't want that to happen. But I would love to see Shedeur in the Browns uniform. If they can trade back up in the first round, I'd be more comfortable with them drafting Shedeur, who is made for the spotlight, who's made for putting programs and organizations on his back, and not worried about flinching at all. Like, he can ignore all the noise and just play ball. Smart kid. So I would love to trade back up for him a little more than I would Jaylen Milroe.
You know, Cecil, they talk about, one of the knocks on Shedeur is his arm strength. And you brought up a great point about playing in this division where weather is going to play a part. You're going to have the big arm to make the throws in the windy conditions and all of those things. Would you still be comfortable with him, or would you be comfortable with a Jackson Dart, a Tyler Shuck, or somebody that's got better arm talent to be able to make those throws? Because as a receiver, you said you want somebody that can get you the ball.
Tyvis. Yeah, I do trust Shedeur because how intelligent he is. And for me, if I look at and I hate to put him in this category, but you look at a Tom Brady or other guys that didn't have the arm strength as some other guys, they got rid of the ball quickly. And they got rid of the ball extremely fast, right? So I think you put Shedeur in that situation, he will get rid of the ball quickly, know where he wants to go, be able to read the coverages, and put his guys in the best position to succeed. Now, I'm going to say this. If I'm drafting a quarterback that's not Shedeur, I think I'm leaning towards Tyler Shuck. And I tell you why. Watching his highlights, watching his games, I watched about 3 or 4 games this morning before we got on. He reminds me of a young Flacco coming out of Delaware. And when you can bring a guy that's 6'5", that's seasoned, look at the last 2 years. C.J. Stroud, Bo Nix, and Jaden Daniels. They played tons of college football games. Like tons of games in the room.
That's it.
So if you bring in a young guy and Kenny Pickett is the only one that can mentor him, I have an issue with that. I truly believe the room is what helps the younger guys develop and get better as a professional. Ask Tyvis. Tyvis was in the room. Tyvis was in the room with Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman and all these guys. Like that room is huge, man. Like it can help develop and really teach you how to be a pro. So if you bring back a Flacco, if you bring back a Keenum or whoever, I don't know who's out there, right, to help develop these younger guys in that room, I think it'll be huge. But watch Tyler Shuck, man. He's something. He's something.
Just because you said all of that, he's going to Pittsburgh because he fits. He looks just like a Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to Pittsburgh.
Thanks, Cecil. Great insight, man. We'll watch you on the Ultimate 216 show. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, take care, y'all.
All right.